sooner rather than later, I feel, with this team. And frankly, Sonny, with the way that we saw BC Gaming systematically disassemble that Space Station Gaming roster, I feel like they are looking squeaky clean today and they are going to have what it takes. I just hope they haven't played their grand final already in that last game against SSG. I hope they've left something in there.
For a team wipe, he's going to go for it now. Okay, no support. Bit of a waste of an ability. 10 seconds to go for Tribe Gaming to push BC Gaming all the way to their own spawn and benefit as a result. But the Shades are here to tank the shots from Zeus. RBM on the right tries to get the kill, but gets it in the end. Couldn't get to Vegeta, who's holding all 10 gems and getting game number 1 for BC.
Sorry, this comp is so base from this Berlin City Club team. It is an uphill battle against this setup. I thought Evax was dabbing there, and I wouldn't have blamed him for it after that kind of round. Oh, buddy, that is crazy. The Tara for Diego Gamer gets unbelievable gaming.
That was a blunder from Luffy. He got trapped on that water on the right side and couldn't keep dashing. Double pull for Diego, and Vegeta comes down with a merciful Executioner's Axe for the 2-piece. Final kill to finish off the team wipe, and BC Gaming have just
covered amongst this team. While that is great, they're obviously going up against a team like Tribe who can generally do the same. So it's kind of crazy to come into a game like this and say being able to play every brawler is not enough. It's about picking the right ones at the right time. And, you know, last pick Tara in that last game was awesome. It really showed that BC Gaming have got a lot there from that rattled hive. Ends up moving up into the middle part of the map, and you've got to respect this bubble from RBM. Oh, Vegeta's just able to space from it. Here comes Diego, but takes a massive hit as he looks to go in. RBM with a nice little super, and that is a complete wipe as BC Gaming are ejected from the map.
Spawn trap is stressful for BC Gaming, but they won't even be off.
Good spot. He's just going to get picked off. There's no two ways about it. Evex flattened, was already marked up by the bell, and then eats a bubble in Tribe Gaming. I mean, it is a terrifying comp. They started off with Hank and Melody, and from there it's been pretty one-sided in that first game.
It's been difficult for them to fend things off. We did see moments where the theoretical counters that we've also, of course, observed in reality, B counters, managed to fight back. So B was able to take down Melody.
Honestly, pretty nasty potential off this spawn trap with Diego Gamer looking to jump in now with the hypnotism, catching on to 2. It's carnage out there. Luffy, though, still able to hold his ground for the time being, but this should be a walk on in. Diego Gamer
to go. Mid control belongs to Tribe, but they're going to have to force this one through within the next 10 seconds.
Again, supers are up here for Tribe, though you've got to respect it. Luffy does, of course, have that mobility available, but Vegeta's able to pick Zeus off. His hypercharge has popped here for both BC Gaming players, and RBM looks terrifying, of course, with that hyper, but it's not enough to bowl over the BC Gaming roster. We've got an even set, folks.
That was a game-winning clutch from Diego Gamer. He was barely alive. Just one hit of health to his name, and he supered that ball down the field. And look at how long it took to get it to the other side once again. Shots onto Evex, but now the ball is on the left side. Luffy scoops it up and sticks it over on the right. That's a team wipe for Tribe Gaming, and it's wide open for Luffy to slot one in.
Beautifully done there again. It is about those Hank supers. Very, very hard for BC Gaming to overcome them. Evexo has a hyper now. He's going to pop it straight away. BC Gaming realize they've got to make up this deficit now. Luffy goes down. Diego Gamer is actually able to avoid that nest egg, and Zeus. Oh, there's one more little helper coming straight for him. Okay, the nest egg catches Vegeta, but this is going to be a goal whichever way you slice it. Beautiful.
The walls break down, and the hypercharge Hank Super is let loose.
Yeah, they just don't have a way of avoiding that damage. Luffy's going to go, and here comes the Hank Hyper. It's far too much. Tribe Gaming knew they had the win condition right there, and BC Gaming make it close, but are vanquished on Brawl Ball.
The fear of the Tribe now struck into the hearts of BC Gaming with a single ability from that Hank. They could not keep that pressure on RBM as necessary to prevent him from keeping that hypercharge super towards.
Pretty impressive. That hypercharge is undeniably extremely broken right now. So they need to think about that. Either target the Hank, or on a map like Layer Cake, they might look to pick him as well, Sonny.
I think you couldn't have explained that better. Really came down to the draft a little bit. I did mention before that Tribe Gaming had a phenomenal run with Melody on Brawl Ball before, and they let that slide through along.
You make you virtually unstoppable as a duelist in those situations is crucial. Evex steps up, very quickly takes away that blue star here, and Zeus, hello! Caught out there by Vegeta. Now you're going to get really close, of course, to this Dice Tower, but for BC Gaming, you're able to walk back, and Tribe Gaming kind of missed a key opening.
Pretty sick strat from Tribe, by the way, though. They managed to trap a couple of people. Whoa, long pull! RBM's gone! BC Gaming executed that perfectly. They have the TP back to spawn if someone gets hurt. I was commenting on how the Dice Tower to trap someone for Luffy is quite creative. Here comes the heal from Vegeta. Didn't quite reach Evex, but that's fine. RBM's taken down. Diego Gamer snags the kill too. And the safest brawler on the entire team, Vegeta, is holding 5 stars and the blue tie-breaking star.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to have your Poco, the one with all those stars, but again, this gets a little bit scary now. The Dice Tower does get erected. Diego Gamer, good shots onto Luffy, though, and oh, a pull! They do not respect the Ash. Bro, this is chalked. This is absolutely over.
Like, yeah, okay, trap us. See how you like it when you decide to pull up on us, and that comes down when you try and get your super, but it's going to be of no use. Hypercharge. Heals from Vegeta. Diego also ready with the hook. Not good, but a key player now trapped on the other side. Evex looking for an opening. They just got to kill Luffy, and they managed to do it. BC with game 1 of set 3.
It's not even the drafts, man. It's just these guys play with zero respect. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be like the 2019 Nova Esports roster, and this team is still going to sneer at you and run you down. Love to see that for Berlin City Club. That's the exact attitude they need to topple the Titans here at the top of NA. Okay, well, the hook on RBM is not what they were looking for. It has to be a hypercharged Poco Super all in here now from BC Gaming, and here they go. Diego Gamer, though, caught out, can't quite get in, has to back away, and the little helpers chop down on Vegeta. It's going to be hard for BC Gaming here. They need one more elimination, but just lose out in the trades, and Tribe, after a much more sensible start to the round, take that game.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of gross final move from BC Gaming there. With the Gray teleporting into pretty much everything in the corner, yeah, you're gonna hit your shots, but what's your escape plan? I mean, you have 3 shots, you're not gonna charge a super off.
On the gadget cooldown, there's 15 seconds left in the round. Diego knows he needs to send his team forward now. It is hypercharged, but it looks tough. Zeus gets caught out in the middle, though. RBM a little bit low. Here's the hyper thrown down. FX doesn't have the health to deal with RBM, though, and that's a lot of little helpers. Diego Gamer is going to get devoured, and it'll be Tribe Gaming with a 2-star lead to end the set.
So close. If RBM had fallen there, my goodness, he was only hanging on by a thread, something like 240 health before he walked over to the left side uncontested and healed up. That would have been the difference, by the way. It would have been a blue star victory for BC Gaming. This is time to lock someone in. Yeah, the entire month as well, going back to last weekend too. Just one set separates them from a guaranteed land spot. It's unlikely that they would be knocked out of the top 2 by my calculations, just a little bit of quick math, if they get second place here. But they can guarantee it, they can clinch it, go ahead and be so they can't march forward either. They're only leading by 9%. All they have to do is hold on to this zone. Luffy,
don't lose your nerve, BC Gaming.
All 3 of them taking so much damage right now. Luffy, the last one standing, but the clock's ticking down, and not a whisper from Tribe on a BC safe.
Not too shabby there. Not exactly the not exactly the high octane round we were necessarily expecting to see. Berlin City Club got themselves like a little bit of lead early on in the round, but it was an odd way for a heist map to finish.
Yeah, it was a tie, dude. Was that a tripwire right at the end of the game?
It was things also are being set up. That is something that's going to have to be addressed as well. And Diego and FX can't play within this damage booster whatsoever.
Serious damage onto Diego and FX, but now the whole squad's here to lay every ounce of rage they have into Tribe Gaming safe. Only 28% remain, but that's still more than what BC Gaming has on theirs. That's challenging. Here comes FX now, rushing down mid, getting as much as he can, struggling to find his place on the enemy safe. That's 4.6k, 1% moment, and Eve closes in to get the last bit of damage, sending Tribe to a match point in one
very well
game
picked up
away.
by Tribe Gaming. Holy, they knew there was about to be an all-in there by BC Gaming. They knew that if they simply reciprocated and sent one brawler up, they already had that safe down to like 19% ready. Man, that was ice cold from Tribe. After
Super, which he's going to expend exclusively to deal with Luffy.
I don't know about this Melody pick. FX has not been able to make the difference. That rocket fuel rocket got blocked by a hatchling as Vegeta was trying to break that top right part of the map open, which is just supremely unlucky. And frankly, BC Gaming have had some turns of misfortune over the course of this series, but Tribe Gaming have punished them with incredible game skill. Now they're looking to descend upon the safe, and they want to secure their spot at Brawl Cup. They are so close, they can smell it. Here's RBM, gonna wrap onto that safe, and that's that, folks. Tribe Gaming once again wash their hands of another challenger in BC Gaming, another monthly final win, and a Brawl Cup appearance secured.
Another W in the books for Tribe Gaming, the undoubted champions of North America right now. There may be a top 2 in North America now, but there is undoubtedly a number 1.
Everybody at home was able to vote, and it was Zeus for one.
I mean, Zeus obviously took an MVP earlier on today. The kind of player I feel like that really is lifted up by Tribe Gaming when they're playing their best, and someone who's facilitated to be a playmaker, to be a bit of a superstar. It's a really high pressure role to be put in, but Zeus has been doing it for quite some time now. When you have RBM and Luffy on your team, you probably feel like you're invincible.
I gotta agree. I think they're like such a strong foundation for Zeus to rest upon.
It's been to wreck it one last time.
Whew, what a month, folks. I mean, in NA, sure, the grand finals were pretty identical, but nonetheless, I mean, we've had some crazy chaos going down across our world. Tribe Gaming once again taking this one here, and I said before, it's only a rivalry if both teams manage to get some W's. Still plenty of time left on this season, and honestly, just a really cool moment there. Like, he is so razor focused on the grind, on the scrims. I mean, the numbers back it up too. If you all ever see how many scrim sets that these guys play compared to the rest of not just this region, but the world, it's unbelievable. The hard work is a statement, a reason for their success, and now they are rewarded with the Brawl Cup through this halfway point. But to your point, Uber, no shame in picking this BC Gaming squad. I mean, they are a phenomenal team. The drafts have been pretty solid. Tribe Gaming really the only tricky one I feel like to draft into, and the fact that these guys are able to pull off even a bow pick and still win goes to show the caliber of players we're working with.